Hey, how's it going? So thought I'd talk a little bit about when you have to do uh, CBUs or dismount to go to like an apartment or something as an RCA. Now, most RCA routes, excuse me, most rural routes I've been on, you just basically mostly sit in the vehicle and deliver to a box at the end of a driveway and maybe take a package up to the door. That's it. But there are some routes where you do have to do apartments, you do have to do um, CBUs. And so I thought I'd talk about that, how I do that differently and things you have to look out for. And just kind of, I guess, basically starting a conversation about this. If you have questions or comments or want to know more about this or have something you want to say about CBUs, let me know. All right, so first off, um, cluster box units. So these things are different, just like the mailbox at the end of the driveway, there are different companies that make different models. So there's different ones, different types, different brands. Okay. Some open to the street, while others you need to dismount to service. So some of these units, they open from the front. So the customer side is your side as well, where you open it. And others, you open the back of the box and they open the front of the box, that sort of thing. Um, and what you want to do is you want to make sure that if it has an outgoing mail slot, that you check for that. Some of these units, they'll have people put their outgoing mail in their slot, kind of push to the back so that you see it, or push to your side anyways. Okay, so you got to check to make sure there's not outgoing mail. Um, Now, when you're delivering to these things, what I've taken to doing is when I pull down, I pull them down separately. Usually I'll pull down my apartments and CBUs first. So if it's something that I'm going to deliver just on the street, so if I'm able to get into the box from the street, um, I might just do that. I might just, have it packaged with everything else and then just deliver like I deliver everything else. Okay. But if I'm dismounting, or if it's kind of like a big cluster of boxes, I'll package separately. I'll put it in a bucket so I can just take the bucket out of the vehicle, if it's safe to do that, and I can just put my mail in. So like even if you're someone who likes to case all your mail, this is something you might not want to case because what's the difference standing at your case with a stack of DPFs and putting it in there as opposed to standing at a cluster box and sorting it out, really takes about the same amount of time, but once it's the cluster box, you don't have to pull it down again. You see what I'm saying? So when I do these, I'll just grab the stack of DPFs that goes with that apartment and I'll just stick it in a tub along with other flats. And then when I get to it, I'll just take that stuff out and sort it right there, okay, at the CBU, okay? So you might want to consider doing that. It can save a little bit of time. Again, it's got to be safe to do so. If it's cold out, that might change how you do things. But, if it's a nice, relatively nice day, it's a secure location, why not sort it right in front of where it's going? Okay. The other thing, make sure when you leave, make sure that the box is securely closed after you deliver. I did this once. I accidentally left one open. But the customer was there like, hey, like, oh yeah, yeah, you got to be careful that like when you close it, that you lock it and that it actually closes. Okay. Um, Now, if the box gets too overstuffed, so like you're like trying to, really push mail in there, you might want to consider putting the mail on a 10-day hold so that you're not just crazy stuff in that box. And then the customer has to come to the post office to get it, or they have to call and request it. Because really, you can damage the box by putting too much stuff in there. Okay. So here's one type of cluster box units. I see these type all the time. Now they come in different colors, different companies make them, but you see, they've got a couple parcel lockers on them. And they've got a little slot here for outgoing mail. And what you do is you put your key in here, and that opens up where the outgoing mail is. You pull that out. And then that right door opens, and then there's a little catch, and then the left door opens. And most of these, now some of them are broken, but they have little catches at the top by the hinge, right up here by the hinge. That'll lock it into open position. And then when you need to close it, you gotta pop it up with your thumb, close that door. Make sure it's secure, check that latch that it's fallen into place. And then you can close the other door, then you can finally close that door. And yeah. So there is a little bit to it, but it's not too bad. Just again, you're making sure that the right door is closed and that the latch is down before you close the left door. Excuse me, the right door. There you go. Anyways, so that's one type. And you've got these old silver boxes. Okay. These usually open in the back. Sometimes they'll have an outgoing mail in one of the slots. They're a little bit smaller, harder to get things in there. And you can see these parcel lockers, these plastic parcel lockers next door. I've seen a lot of these on routes that I do. Okay. You can see on these other ones that we looked at before, there's two little parcel lockers at the bottom. Okay, moving on. All right, this one. So here's a bunch of these next to each other. Now this area definitely, you can see you've got a dismount, right, to deliver to them. You might as well just put all that stuff in a tub and sort it when you get here. Because really, look at this. I mean, you're not going to deliver out of your vehicle, right? You're not going to deliver out of your vehicle. You might as well just sort it right there. Okay. Let's see, there's some damage to these. I think that's what the picture is about. Anyways, moving on. All right, apartments. So again, really consider pulling this stuff down in tubs or half trays. You want something that's easy to carry. Oops, let me go back. You want something that's easy to carry, okay? You don't want to have to like go to your trays next to you and pull out the mail and the packages for these people and carry it in your arms. No, just have it prepackaged. Like I said, this is some of the first stuff that I do. Now, if it's an apartment, there's only 4 units, fine. You can just grab that out of your regular tray. There's no point in packaging that separately. But if you're in an apartment building where there's like 20 units, yeah, put that stuff in a tub. I once did a route where there's like, you had to dismount and go through 4 apartment buildings. Okay. Each one had like 8 units. So you had to I'd put everything in a bucket, walk into the first building, deliver everything, set the packages down, walk into the next building and so on. Why try to pick it out of your trays, then try to carry it, even if you put it in a satchel or something. And then, oh yeah, I forgot to grab that. No, just prepackage it before you go. Okay. Again, you can sort it while you're in there, but make sure you have all the stuff, like I said, in a bucket. Then when you get to there, once you're inside the building, then you can sort it out. Okay. Always bring your scanner when you dismount. That's really important. They want you to have that with you so that then you make sure that that's for your safety as well. And also you might run across a piece of mail that needs to be scanned in your DPS. So you might as well have that with you. Okay, and again, make sure that you secure the boxes and don't overfill them. So again, you don't want to overfill these apartment boxes because if you can damage them pretty easily. So do a 10-day if you need to. And again, make sure that they're secure when you leave so that other people aren't doing that. Also, if it's a locked building, so if it's a locked building, you will have a key to get into the building, right? Be careful to make sure that the building's secure when you leave. You don't want to let anybody in who doesn't belong there. You don't be responsible for that, So just make sure that you secure the building when you leave. That makes sense? Yeah. All right. So again, just, be safe. And if something's not right, well, report it. Okay, this is the most common type of apartment box I've seen. These are kind of these tall, skinny things that load from the top. You can see what they look like. You open it with your key and then it pulls out, and then you can load mail into the top of it. So they get filled pretty quickly. Not the best things to deliver to. They come in different sizes. I do an apartment building where there's 7 of these in a row. So you open the whole thing, 7. And then there's 4 sets of them. So 28 people in the building. Okay. But yeah, that's how those work. Again, don't want to overfill them. It's pretty easy to damage the latches on those doors. Okay. Here's another type. I've only seen this once when I've been out delivering. This big door opens up. At my daughter's school, they have these where they put the mail actually in the back. But I've been in buildings where it's like this, where you open the whole big door and you've got all these small little boxes to deliver to. Okay, different types of apartment boxes. All right, then parcel lockers. Again, just like the other things, you don't want to overstuff them because you can damage them. And just leave a notice. You know, if it doesn't fit, either deliver it right to the door or leave a notice. Okay. Double to make sure that the locker key's put in the correct customer's box. You know, so double check, make sure, okay, that was 104. Okay, 104. Put it in the correct box. Okay. And if a parcel locker is broken, just don't use it. A lot of these things, especially the plastic ones, the hinges will break. You don't want somebody, a thief or someone getting someone else's package. So don't make it easy on them. Just don't use broken parcel lockers. Okay. All right. Well, that is my spiel about delivering to dismounts and CBUs. Okay, cluster boxes. If you have questions about them, let me know. There's of course lots of other tips about them too. Like in the winter, bring some de-icer, you know. So, you know, if you have tips, share them in the comments. If you have questions, share them in the comments. Please like this video and thanks for watching. All right.